Well, hello there, young folks of the world. It is Monday, February the 21st, in the year 2022. Hopefully, you're doing fantastic. Kick off to the work week, right? Well, perhaps you're a government worker, post office. Post office is like 50-50, partly government, partly private. Maybe you're a mailman. Or maybe you work retail, maybe you work in a factory, maybe military. But some of you perhaps have today off. So it's a 3-day weekend. But now you're dreading, oh no, I gotta go back to work tomorrow. Or maybe you're law enforcement or firefighter or paramedic and you just been worked last night or you worked tonight or you're working right now. Who knows? So anyway, you wanna escape from that life? Here's the easy answer. Start buying real estate. Okay, and if you're sitting there thinking, Maskey, you're full of it. How can I buy a rental property? I don't make enough money. Well, neither did I. Neither did almost anybody who got started. There are stories after stories after story of folks who grew up poor, who low income, Section 8 as kids, single parents, and then they become adults and they get involved with real estate and they become wealthy. Okay, the easiest way to do it is save up that small down payment, that 3.5%, that 5%, that small down payment, whatever that dollar amount is, depending on where you live at in this country, and buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. You can get a residential 30-year fixed rate mortgage on that. You put down a small down payment. You then live in one apartment, and your tenants in the other apartments pay all or most of your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and expenses to keep the building in good shape. Okay? If you think about that, if you pay rent of $1,000, or if you bought a house and you pay a mortgage of $1,000, okay? Now you go buy that duplex, triplex, or quadplex. You suck it up. You might be 35 years old. You might be 45 years old. You might be 25 years old. But you suck it up and you put up with living in an apartment. Maybe you got to give up your Florida mansion. I don't have a Florida mansion. I'm just saying this. Maybe you got to give up your mansion wherever you live at. You got to give it up for a year or 2 or 3. You give it up. You suck it up. And you move into an apartment in a building that you own. Maybe it's a duplex, triplex, or a quadplex. You then, not only do you not pay your $1,000 rent or $1,000 mortgage, but you have folks that are paying your mortgage for you, paying your taxes for you, paying your insurance for you, and perhaps putting more money into your pocket. So effectively, you are not spending $1,000, which if that comes out of your paycheck, they take taxes out of it. So you got to make maybe $1,200 to get that $1,000, okay? And then you're not paying that now. So that's $1,200. Let's just say $1,200 that you're not paying. And you're living for free, and you're getting a little extra money in your pocket. And let's just say that extra money is $500 because you got a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. So, and you're positively cash flowing. So you got an extra $500. So now it's $1,700 a month, and your housing expenses paid. $1,700 a month times 10 is $17,000. So times 12 is pushing $20,000. Okay, so you suck it up, no matter who you are, Buttercup. Suck it up, Buttercup. No matter who you are, no matter how nice of a house you have right now, no matter if you're married with children, you suck it up for a year. You got to stay. So when you buy a duplex, triplex, quadplex, get a new mortgage, you got to stay there at least a year to satisfy the mortgage conditions, I guess, because you're getting a first-time home buyer's loan or a low down payment loan, whatever you're getting. Normally that's the case. Check with your lender on that. But then maybe after a year or 2 or 3, maybe just after 14 months, you say, we're tired of this apartment. And then you go buy maybe another duplex, triplex, quadplex and do the same thing. And when you move out of the one you lived in, you now get an additional rent check. So you got even more money coming in. And you go do it again. And then maybe you move out of that and you go buy a starter home. Okay, so now we're 2 years into this journey. Duplex, triplex, quadplex, stay there, say 14 months. Buy a second one, stay there, let's say 14 months. So you're 28 months, you're 2 years, 4 months into this journey. Now you move out and you buy a single family starter home, kind of like a starter home in quotes. What is a starter home? I lived in a starter home for 23 years until I moved down here. It's not a starter home. A home is a home. So you buy what society calls a starter home that would make a good rental house. All right. Then you move in there for a year or so. And then you decide to move out of that. So now you rent that and your cash flow just keeps picking up. And then maybe you buy the house that you want to live in. Maybe. Or maybe you love this game so much you keep doing it. Okay? It's cheaper to rent than it is to buy. I'll guarantee you that. I've spent a ton of money on this house that I've bought. It's cheaper to rent than it is to buy. Let your landlord pay your expenses. But be the landlord. Because yes, you will pay those expenses with the tenant's money and you will get positive cash flow. All right? Number 2, if you don't want to suck it up, buttercup, but you really want to get wealthy, look at your vehicle. All right? Drive something cheaper if you can. If you already got something old, well, then you keep driving it. If you got something that's getting older, keep driving it. Don't buy a new vehicle. Don't buy another vehicle. Drive it till it drops. Okay? Cut down on vehicle cost. Minimize driving the best you can. Can you live closer to where you work at? Minimize driving the best you can because vehicles are expensive. You got gasoline prices going up. You have insurance you got to pay on it. Insurance rates are going up. Just maintenance on the vehicle, changing the oil, changing spark plugs, changing tires, brakes, etc. Vehicles are expensive. Trucks, cars, everything's expensive. So minimize your cost on that. All right, so I gave you the 2 things that if you did that, I guarantee, the best I can guarantee, is that you will be financially independent within a decade, within 10 years, probably less. All right, but within 10 years, you will be financially independent. Now, if you don't want to be financially independent in 10 years and money's tight and you want to keep that house and you want to keep that vehicle, then you have to cut expenses. You got to get drastic. You got to cut expenses. You got to cut out the latte factor, whatever that is, the Dunkin' Donuts, the Starbucks, whatever. Cut it out. You got to cut out eating out. Don't say, oh, I'm eating out 2 times a week instead of 3. Cut it out. Cut cable. Cut whatever your satellite. Cut it. If you have Sirius radio in your vehicle, cut it. If you buy new clothes all the time, wear old clothes. All right? Whatever you do, get drastic. And then, maybe then, you can get on the property ladder and maybe you can become financially independent in 20 years. Okay? So what do you want to do? It's your decision. If you don't have any investments and you don't want to give up your house, you don't want to give up your car, and you can't cut it that much, well, then join in with the rest of 75, 80% of Americans and live paycheck to paycheck your entire life and work till you die. All right? If that's what you want to do. But knowing what I know now, I guarantee you if I could go back in time to when I was buying my first house, I would have bought a duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Even though I wanted a yard, a big yard, I would have done that because it could have made me financially independent so much quicker. And one last thing on this, when you get financially independent, if you love your job, you don't have to quit it. Keep on working. All right? No one says you get financially independent, you got to stop working. Keep on working. Or work the job of your choice. Volunteer somewhere, work for free, or do whatever. Excuse me. But you have options available then, okay? So it's up to you. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to wrap this up. We're not quite at 10 minutes. I'll get it to 10 minutes probably and wrap it up. But look in the mirror at yourself, all right? If I ask you in the future, hey, do you invest? I don't know who you are, but hopefully you'll say, yeah, I do. Yeah, look, I drive a 1992 Geo Prism. Look, I drive an old green Ford pickup truck with a dent in the bumper. I drive an 87 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. Yeah, I'm an investor. And I'm going to become financially independent at some younger age than I would have otherwise. All right? Good enough? Good enough. All right, hopefully this helps you out a little bit because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you any advice. I'm just sharing stories of how I would live my life if I could do it over again and kind of how I lived my life to get to where I am at now. Okay? All right, good enough. Have a great day. Mazske is signing out.